Welcome everyone. Not a bad idea, Ian. I've done a video test, I think half an hour ago. Connection test as well. So hopefully it still works. Hopefully. When I'm moving around, it should be... I should be moving. So hopefully it works. Hopefully I am constantly moving and not laggy. That is fantastic. Let's do just a quick all-in-one test here. Like 3 hands moving. That should be... that was weird. Okay. Good evening everyone. Welcome. I have some things I want to share. Let's start with the positive first. Now, there's not really a negative, as long as this stream keeps working. Shoulder is doing a bit better. I think the injection went well. It still feels like the inflammation caused some, I don't know, some damage. Maybe it's just, I don't know, that area is still kind of sore and from the inside pushing to things it shouldn't push. A joint or inside the joint. Not sure, so I need to take it easy with my shoulder basically. But the most of the pain, the constant pain, is far less, so that's good. Another good thing, after last week's laggy live stream, I received a package, and I will share it with you. Also, last week, I actually wanted to share 2 quinacridones from Guerra, but dry ones, so quinacridone gold and deep as a dry pigment, which they do not sell, but did send to me. And another box, and inside that box is a bag. This is not from Guerra, and inside this bag are more bags, and inside these bags are pigments. Surprise. But not just pigments. Pigments that I didn't have in my collection yet. So yay. I guess. So how did I get those pigments? Roman Small sent them to me. The guy named Roman Small, not the brand. Roman actually himself sent these to me. So I'm going to have a maybe we can have a look which one sounds most interesting or which one you're most curious about. So yeah, the festive lights are kind of, it's the right mood for today, I think. Also, I upgraded with just a minimal investment, say 12 euros, new LED lights here. Which are constantly on. The other ones that I had were kind of flickering. Yeah, Roman. It took a while though, and it's not because of him. But I wanted to have PBR48. I wanted to try PBR48. Didn't have it. Wanted to try, and he had to wait for it himself as well. He asked me Do you want me to send it now and wait for the other later, or do you want to wait for everything to arrive and then send it just, you know, in one package? So I waited for the entire thing. Good evening, Sylvie's. Sylvie's what I call Sylvie. Good evening. What pigments? I'm going to show them in a little bit later again. Toast, a new name. So welcome. I love the the avatar and name. Yeah, I hope it arrives soon as well. And yeah, Ian, how is your back doing? Good to hear it's improving, but that's, you know, as long as it's going in the right direction. Don't make it awkward, Sylvie. Okay, so which pigments? These pigments. So we have two quinacridone golds from Guara, the dry versions. PY189, PO82. I think I already have this one, by the way, in the meantime. PR290, PR272, PY168, PY61, PY128, PBR48, and PBR41. So, as you can see, there's not a lot of blue or green. Not at all. Apparently, I have most of those. But, you know, when it comes to the yellows and reds and some browns, not all of them, there are not a lot of browns, but quinacridone gold, yes, this is quinacridone gold. I don't know how autofocus doesn't really, there's no autofocus in this on that camera. It's a constant focus as long as it's further away than 30 centimeters, which I think this is. So, two quinacridone golds here. PR290, that's actually, I think, I've seen the entire range of Roman Small, and, you know, the pigments that they use, or he uses. It's a company, he has employees, his name though. But the pigments that they use are quite unique. This is something, I don't know if a lot of brands carry these, but something that really popped when I saw it in his range. Yeah, I liked what I saw. And when it comes to yellows, it's difficult for me. I think it is a ginger red. Yeah, we can have a look, right? Let's have a look here. PR290, all the way in the bottom here. 290 Sycopal red, ginger red, and since we can all look at it, this is the one. Red Earth, Royal Talons in Cobra, their water soluble or water mixable oil. They use it as well. Not completely light fast, but it looks lovely. Just to look at their range, let me have a look. It was over here between the 5R there and 5R there. So it's over here. It's within the range of iron oxides and and whatnot. But yeah, this is their natural iron oxide, and it looks quite similar. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just nice to have some pigments that I don't have. These are samples though, so this is a tiny bit of pigment. This is like, it looks like quite some pigment looking at this, but this is just a tiny bit of pigment. So not going to make a lot of paint with it here. I can do it with PBR 48. This is I would say a little bit more generous amount, but I think that's not the right word for it, since I think this is quite generous already. PBR 29, no, there's no PBR 29 here. It's PBR 48 and PBR 41. Or is there anything that... kind of falling silent again. I'm sorry. It's like seeing stuff there, trying to read it, and looking for it, and then thinking, hey, do I have that? Do I actually have it? Because I have been talking about this with... I do have it. Yeah. I think with Mark yesterday. He had an appointment now, I think. PR 178, which one is that? I'm fully lost. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Pearline Crimson. Oh, whoa. Of course it is. 179 was maroon. Okay, I was kind of confused. I thought, you know, it doesn't sound like crimson. Yeah, red. Crimson differs from brand to brand, but yeah, let's put these in a kind of colorful-ish order. Warmer, cooler, more muted, and this one just pops out. You don't see it because I'm over here, but I was trying to put this nicely. So yeah. This came in. When it comes to pigments, you know, that stuff is exciting. Other stuff that's exciting, but I'm going to do a live tomorrow morning or afternoon. Kind of like depends on how the morning is going, how much I can get done. But tomorrow I want to try to experiment with a binder. And I want to share that with you during a live. I have Gumaravic powder here. And my goal is to make a thicker binder for the 3-roll mill. Oh, that was short, Paolo. Hope to see you soon. Bye, Paolo. The 3-roll mill. I want to say I've played with it. I've made paint with it a few times now, and I can say it went really well. But there are a lot of things you need to think of when you're switching from the slab to a machine that does that. One of them is pre-mixing the paint. So I was kind of tinkering with with a rock tumbler and a glass jar. Maybe you saw the short I posted on YouTube. Glass marbles in it to, you know, keep it moving. That works, but you need to let it keep running for quite a long time. And I don't know if it's time-wise, if it's really efficient with smaller batches, but with larger batches, there's also the factor that my binder works fantastic on the slab. It works great. I can use a lot of pressure on the muller. There's a heavy muller that does a little bit of work for me. I'm limited by the size of the glass slab. Yes, I can buy a, well, I don't even have to buy it. My desk is made out of glass. So I can do that. But having this machine, the only reason of having it here for now temporarily is because of my shoulder, and I don't want to have this come back anytime soon. Or in my other arm, the doctor in radiology in the hospital asked me if I don't have any pain in this shoulder, and he asked it in a way that really made me doubt myself. Like, yeah, there's some kind of... I noticed since I barely did anything with this shoulder for, I think, a solid 4 or 5 weeks. 2 weeks before that, I just couldn't move it. And I think 5 weeks, I barely did anything with it, just to you know, not make it any worse. By doing that, using the other arm more for milling, for everything, maybe I didn't use it in a good way. So like half an hour after I left the hospital, I was in doubt, and I was just questioning myself, like, did I have to ask, like, do you see anything there? Is there anything there I should be worried about? Do you have 2 injections with you? Just, you know, put one in the other arm, and, you know, as a precaution. With Dutch healthcare, that's actually that would have been possible. Cost-wise, that wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah, so I don't want to have that again, and that's why I borrowed the machine for this month. Not ideal with the holidays. Since, you know, those days I won't be able to play with it, to say, to just call it that. Pre-wetting the paint is different. You can use mixers, you can buy mixers, you can buy professional grade pigment in binder mix. Those are even more expensive. I'm not going to do that. The binder I'm using now, that's where I started. My ADHD is a little worse in the evening. It's great for the muller and the slab. And did I hit my muller so hard that the screen did something weird? Well, for the 3-roll mill, it's a little bit on the thin side. For my paint, that really doesn't make any difference. I'm going to dry it in layers, and the water will evaporate out of it anyway. But for a 3-roll mill, a paint that is a little bit thicker, the consistency is easier. It's not better, not necessarily better, but it's easier. Especially for those of you who are interested in tubed paint. I want to have a look if I can get it a little bit thicker. It works in tubes. I've tried it, little tubes. It works great. Some pigments better than others. Some pigments are like the perfect consistency. Others, with this binder I have right now, are a little bit, I wouldn't say runny, but they're on the liquid side of something that is in a tube. And yeah, so that's just something I need to figure out. Oh, that's not nice to read that, Ryder. There's another part of a machine like that, from a brand like that. I've seen kind of things for $1,000 online. Last week I was looking into those machines, everything on the market, and there's like really cheap options, but I don't think cheap would necessarily be better, especially with something that uses so much pressure, so much force. Yeah, Sentient, welcome, by the way. I've seen that as well, like a stand mixer. Even a stand mixer with like a serrated blade on the edges, with all the like, yeah, I don't know how to explain that. That looks like an industrial mixer, but then, you know, as a kitchen stand mixer. I think that could work as well, but I want to find something that also works for a Vtelo, for instance, and a stand mixer like that. With the binder I have right now, the pigment will go anywhere. I don't want to have that. So I don't want to contaminate my entire studio, or need to invest in like a better air filtration right, you know, above here, or I don't want to do those things at this stage, especially. So what I'm using now is literally, this is a USB rechargeable, it's like super amateuristic, but a resin mixer, and it's you know, it's quite strong. The motor is quite strong. You can put it on an AI function, which actually feels the resistance of the liquid, to put it harder, and it makes it the other way around, and then back and forth. And for instance, my dirty blue mix, ultramarine, which is like half dirty blue, and other pigments like that, not hydrophobic pigments, but other more easy pigments. This works fantastic just in a glass jelly jar. This works wonders. And I'm talking about those sizes, right? Like this filled with liquid paint is way more than I usually have on my slab. So yeah, there's loads of different things that I need to think about, and I need to think like 5 steps ahead, to know what comes with an investment like this. One other thing that I didn't really think about: spare parts. And I think that's what, if it really works for me and for my shoulder, and it wouldn't make anything worse, it makes my life a little bit easier, so I can, you know, put my energy into maybe more into YouTube, or into rare pigments, or other side gigs, side quests. If that would be possible with the 3-roll mill, I will definitely invest in it. There's the but though, when it comes to the spare parts. Spare parts don't have a third-party maker. This is a plastic gear. $103. Well, I don't need to read it out loud. A plastic hopper. So this basically feeds more paint gradually, like in your machine. You can put it on top and put a larger amount of paint in that, and it slowly goes out. So you have both hands free. That's ideal. These things, they will tear. Like these will wear and tear, and like as you can see here, the parts are broken off here with the old ones. These new are very expensive for 2 pieces of plastic. I don't need a new motor cover, for instance. This is a plastic scraper. I made my own knobs for that. But a splash tray, for instance, I printed one of these. $40. So I just printed one of those and it works. Side covers, belts, everything is so expensive. So yeah, there's that. And you know, the spare parts from Sentient, from used or old equipment, there aren't any. Or you know, everything is, usually you buy a thing like this when you work in a lab. You buy a thing like this, and you have like a maintenance subscription, and if something is worn, they just take it and replace it, and you know, all those other parts are going to be refurbished or thrown out. So the used parts, or even a machine, I saw that on eBay, a machine without the metal rollers, I think they asked 1,200 euros for it. So yeah, 3D printer. Pay attention. I think. Where's my phone? There's my phone. So is this is on? Yes. Okay, have a look. There you go. So I tried some things out. I made a replaceable sleeve for this, and I want to cover this with a layer of silicone. So it's going to be hydrophobic, and the paint will actually flow out of it. And this just clamps on those plastic slides over there. So just clamps over there. So there you go. Doesn't go anywhere. And you can put this in, and that just goes there. So that's one part. So I already kind of, you know, the turnable knob for the side with a clumsy large knob, but you know. So yeah. Buy a filament one. It is, I don't know what you use it for. Apart from the smell of resin, this is so much easier to tweak around than resin. Resin is great for small parts, small detailed parts, but it's, if you want to get it as strong as quickly as the filament, you need very expensive resin. Resin has a shelf date. Yeah, it's basically exactly Sentient. It's basically if you're making miniature figures or something with a lot of detail. I made this. That's a good angle. With a resin printer. It's a palette knife and a muller with the brand. That's a resin printer. That you know, that's what it's good for. If you, I want to make a mold out of this, so that's why it is mirrored. The text, that is. Where's the angle? There you go. but you know, it says mirrored PB29 ultramarine. And those letters, especially like handmade watercolors, you know, all those little things over here, that's actually readable. You're not going to get that with an FDM printer. But, and you know, if you want to print very detailed figures that are like on the edge of resin versus a very good FDM printer, one thing to remember is that a resin printer, if you have like a plate with the same copies, a resin printer takes as long over 100 copies on the plate as it does on one, because it prints with light, and whether it prints one thing or 100 pictures per layer, that doesn't really matter. Whereas an FDM printer needs to print every single model either at a time or all at once, each layer. So yeah. Resin is great for statues or minifigures or things like that. Yeah, you don't want that like as a consumer, I think. I have two printers, actually three, but I don't have space for the third one. That I fully modded myself, two FDM printers that I fully modded myself, so that they are dropped at silent, like 35 decibels, I think. When they're printing slow then, right? So, but two of them working at the same time without being able to hear them, that's fantastic. And I have one Bamboo Lab A1. Which is very fast, very accurate, very noisy as well. I'm going to try PBR 48 here. Why? Because to me it's a little bit on the warm side here on the webcam. Let me have a look if I can get it with, yeah, this is a little bit better, I think. It looks like a yellow ochre, or like PBR 24. So I want to know what the difference is. Yeah, Ian, my actually the X1 can print in 16 colors. It's ridiculous. You need to buy 4 of the AMS devices. My A1 actually prints in 4 colors. And I made an example of it. Let me have a look. I bought the CMYK pigment kind of thingy. So basically, it mixes colors by layering them. It only... Where can we properly show this? Let me use my phone again today. So I'm just going to do it like this. So it only uses cyan, magenta, and yellow and white to print something that looks like black-ish, green, red, and well, violet isn't really working, as is the black, right? That's just also a very deep violet. But the green and red are just fantastic. So that's fun. Sylvie, the one that I have actually started with a mini, the Bamboo Lab A1 Mini. It's easy enough, I think. Same quality, just a smaller build plate. Also available with the 4-color option if you like that. But if you want to buy one, let me make an affiliate link first so you can buy one through the link. Yeah, but so the if you can print in 4 colors, you can print with different materials as well. So soluble supports are one. You can print with like a wood-based PLA mixed with maybe a fiber mixed matte black PLA or nylon or whatever. You can mix around. Okay, PBR48 actually just feels exactly the same as PBR24. I've been thinking about, you know, shall I make an affiliate link for the printers and do a little bit more of like pen printing content, if that's a thing. I wanted to call it Only Pans, but that already exists, and that's a cooking channel. So it's no, but I was yeah. It's not skin color. This is just bad white balance. It's actually not bad white balance because here it looks good. It's OBS doing something. OBS is doing something. It's definitely not it. Yeah, OBS here is definitely trying to do something with the colors. I'm quickly looking at it. Why it is more shifted towards. Let me color correct it. I think that's better. This is just a bit darker, but yeah, but the thing I see here isn't on YouTube yet. So if I look that way, it's on YouTube, and it looks very similar to what you're seeing, I think. To what I'm seeing there. Sorry. Maybe even a little bit more washed. Well, luckily I'm going to put it under the spectrometer so you can just see what the color is, what it does. I don't need to mill this one. This is really easy. Let me have a look in the meantime if what the PBR48s on the market are, because he said it's a different version than. It's definitely a lighter version. Where on small has like a darker, light version. No, actually. does it already have a spectral curve? I just making, yeah, it does have a spectral curve. Okay, I'm not just wasting pigment here because I like to compare it myself, but seeing this all, oh, don't do that. PBR 48 against PY 43, that's very similar. And I'm wondering if he has the PBR 24 as well. Let me have a look where we need to look for that. 24. That's definitely more orange. But it's really similar to Yellow Earth. It's a normal filament printer, yes. And yeah, it's just plug and play. Software works great with the printer. It has a mobile app that works flawlessly until now. And it can print a lot of things. It's not like one with an enclosure, so you have a constant temperature for for more difficult filaments, but it does a pretty good job at some of those difficult filaments. I think 200 euros is a steal for that. Although that's never been expensive, that one. It's a super smooth, very easy pigment to work with. That's definitely it's definitely more easy than yellow ochre. And I have a new one of these. It's actually a I can show it here as well. It's the fall of this one. You see that little line over there? That's not a pigment particle. I'm pretty sure it's here in this one because it's always at the same spot. Always with pigments that just go towards the zero there. Or zero, like 2, 3. So yeah. I will just let Ian react on your questions. It's STL mostly, but you can print other things as well. Let's do a swatch. Hopefully it's not from my side this time, but still it's very annoying, things that lag. That's very similar. So for me here, and I know the colors are off because I don't know. Let me have a look. No, that's definitely not going to work. So I think this is the best that we can get here. And that's a little bit too dark now. I have to say the Christmas lighting and the it really doesn't make it easier for the cameras to balance everything out. Sebastian, but it's most important that you're here if you can make it though, but welcome. Thanks for joining. Sylvia, I mostly use STL since for me exporting into STL is the fastest, and just with one color, you know, that's what gets the job done. So yeah. What I forgot to mention actually, and I've been looking at it, and I don't think it's on the website. There's the plastic scraper for this is for the parts of the 3mm. The plastic scraper, which I don't want, is $211, and there's no metal scraper here. It's a cleaning bar, a metal rule. There's no. So let's have a look at the more modern ones. Or is this this is kind of the same, right? I think, yeah, this has some same parts. Splash tray, universal scraper. It's not the one that I have, but what the hell? And these are just like the knives for another scraper. Then you need to buy the thing that holds it separately. A plastic scraper. Prices are just out of this. This is not okay. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind. Well, not really. I can show it to you again. Can I? Yes, I can. Yeah, it's pen time. In a minute. So, what you have here, and I actually want to put my phone in there for now because I want to use two hands for this. This needs to be machined very precisely. Very straight in the right angle. This is a universal kind of holder. You can screw this off and replace this, but this little metal piece is super expensive already. This here, but I will take it out of the back. I printed this myself, and so this is dry paint that spilled, you know, between the rollers or while cleaning. And let me just have a look if I can do something very satisfying. Because I used silicone for this as well. Yes. Ha. This is watercolor paint. That is awesome. So let's see what color this gives a different time. So yeah, this is ideal. This works. It was super cheap, super easy, and very effective, and it works. So yeah, that is way cheaper. The guides, like those plastic things that go in the roller, those are very, very, very precisely done. And if I could replicate them, I think an FDM printer with a very sturdy, a very strong but flexible resin might do the trick. I don't think that will be possible with an FDM printer. I don't think. Plus there's a part, but I'm thinking of ways to try to make it. Is this little thing here is as like a ball joint here to go with the flow of the paint that is being made. So this can't be one piece with something that doesn't move, because then you can barely put it in as well. So it needs to move. And it's there, for, everything's there for a reason. See you later, Mr. Pigments. So yeah, definitely going to look a little bit more into making my own designs that can actually that are practical as well. Sebastian, how did I find the that's funny, Ian. How did I find the 3 roll mill? I actually looked online and I saw a company that uses them, but also kind of refurbished them and maintenance does maintenance for them for other companies. I saw that on their website, just searching online. So I gave them a call, and they had a few of these, a few of the sizes that I have, but not the same versions. Like I said last time, yeah, there was like a new version as well, like the 8 to 10,000 euro version of it. That's a small one. So it's, with all the fancy functions and stuff like that. They had that as well. It's a world of difference when you see it and hear it. Oh, like that. I'm so sorry, Sebastian. How did I find like that? Like magic? That is kind of scary. Maybe it's all the instructions that were given to me by the guy I'm borrowing it from. I'm trying to be super careful, and with that, maybe I'm a little bit too cautious. Maybe that kind of holds me back from working with it in a kind of relaxed way. I'm definitely not relaxed when I'm using it. I'm very cautious when I'm using it. Also, the wetting of the paint. I started the stream with that. The wetting of the paint is so much more complicated than just using your palette knife on the slab before using your muller on the slab. Yeah, it's a good question. That was a good question, by the way. And no, it doesn't make me lazy. It should make me more productive and less injured. Do I like this color better than yellow ochre? I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to first look for my yellow ochre, which I found. There you go. That was quick. So my yellow ochre is a little bit warmer. Let's do it like this. Wow, that's too blue now. Where is the auto white balance? No, we need to not make it auto. Is it? It's acting weird. I think my Christmas light, like the warm light with the cool light I have here, is really throwing everything off. Well, you can see it here as well. This one is a little bit warmer. Why is there blue on my nail? Also, I like the natural ochre better because it feels natural. This one, it mulls so easy, and that's not a bad thing, by the way. It's almost too smooth when, you know, I have to compare them. Well, toast, yes, highlighting that as well. Oh, sorry. It looks more luminous. Yes, this dries, the PBR48 dries a bit flat. I think luminous for the other one is the perfect word, but this dries a bit flat, and yellow ochre just has a little bit more depth to it as well, more luminous. Yeah. So it's not something I would add to my line of paint anytime soon. Looking at, in all fairness, Roman Smoles's line of paint, there's a lot of similar, like gold ochre, yellow ochre, raw sienna, which is, you know, the curve. We're going to delete that one. This curve, raw sienna, PBR7, PBR48, and PY43 look very similar. This has a little bit more structure. This is a little bit smoother. This maybe has a little bit more depth. So yeah, there's differences. Absolutely differences. But yeah, I will show them together. I'm going to look for my PBR48 titanium pigment. That's by the R. Should be somewhere there. Should be, right? Now I'm making a mess out of it. I found the... Did you miss me filling the dot pens, Gulshan? Oh no. Oh, that's definitely more orange. So it reminded me of it, but seeing PBR 24 next to it, it's definitely more orange. But looking at it like this, you know how difficult the light is. This is PBR 48, this is PY 43, and PBR 24. So from a pale to like orange way. Oh, you were lagging. Well, especially for you, Gulshan. There you go. There's a pen. I know it's not what you meant, but it's a freshly filled dot pen, so there you go. That's now way too orange. Well, no, I'm even going to bother. It's what it is. Yeah, I can print ball joints. I've tried it, and I thought of a solution, but it needs to be a ball joint that is limited in its movement. So it's a ball joint with maybe a cylinder in front of it, because you don't want it to be fully movable like this, but you just want it to be able to wiggle. So yeah, there's solutions for everything, and I've written things down. Even the... Oh, I'm so sorry. That was a noise. Try to make paint a little bit thicker. How can I do that without changing my binder, changing my recipe? I don't want to change that. There's loads of options, guys, and really I'm very, very thankful for everyone thinking along with me. But please send these things in a DM on Instagram, because I'm really going to forget them. And maybe you can, if you have any like advice, you can send an example picture as well. Because right now, kind of my head is overflowing with trying to find solutions for issues that I don't even have, like replacing those things that are still working fine. It's just how my head works, and I made the hopper. It says the feeder for the paint. I've just quickly threw that together, and it just finished printing the parts just like 20 minutes before the stream, and it fit perfectly the first time, so I was happy with that. But I don't think that's the perfect version, but I think it should work. A little layer of silicone over it on the inside, so the paint will actually flow off. Yeah, you can get great filament on the A shop. Yeah, definitely. I can send you some recommendations too, Sylvie. I'm using recycled PLA for my pans, but when it comes to printing parts like this, sometimes I use the recycled stuff, but sometimes I use a very kind of neutral PLA from a very good but cheap but good brand of filament. Sebastian, yeah, thank you for mentioning that for me. That's ridiculous. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. So very serious now. Now there's a link, that corner over there. There's a link over there. It's my Ko-fi, and I've set that up a while back to maybe launch some products, or maybe some very limited things, or maybe a subscription or anything. But then I just kept it open for, anyone who wants to donate, or anyone who wants to support my channel, my business, my ideas, my anything. Now I changed that goal. I kept the amount that I already got on Ko-fi. I added the first payment I got from YouTube to the amount as well. Since it all would go to one cause. So that Ko-fi now is kind of, its goal is to get enough money for the 3-roll mill. Ryder, your question is very valid. Isn't it better via PayPal? Yeah. If you would transfer it as a friend, you don't pay any fees for PayPal. Yeah, with Ko-fi, you pay a little bit of fee, I think. I'm not even sure how much it is. But yeah, definitely. But PayPal is not something I would kind of throw around there. I don't wanna just in all public posts put my PayPal account and the email address for it, like, because from what I've heard, people posting that on YouTube or Instagram or anything will get payment requests, and I've had them in the past before, payment requests from random phishing things, like 1,000-fold. So I'm very hesitant on doing that. So yeah, it's I have a PayPal for Dirty Blue. It's not a very difficult one as well, but it's just something that I think, with Ko-fi there is a layer of transparency as well towards people who are supporting me. So, as I said, the funds I got from YouTube, I added those to the amount, or I added those to the amount needed. And you can just see how far I am. I think for transparency wise, I think that's a bit better. Ironically, Ko-fi pays me out via PayPal, so all the payments I get from my PayPal. So yeah, for me it really doesn't make a difference. Thank you so much, Sebastian. Really appreciate that. My touchpad just died. I need to replace the batteries. Sorry. Yeah, basically, Ryder, that's it. And thinking like that would make life so much easier if that happens more. I've said that to was an artist, wasn't even a paint maker, but I got to know that person because of my pigment stories on Instagram, and I've supported them, and with the same like if all your followers would just give 50 cents even, they would, and it was actually financial issues, not even a wish list thing or something like that. But if just all of their followers would give 50 cents, that would fix it for them, or half of the followers €1 or $1. It's a really weird way of thinking. So why isn't this happening? But yeah, that's the truth. And like I said in my post, it's the worst month to ask for this as well. I have lags too, guys. This is so annoying. Okay, so I'm just quickly going to check if I can fix it here. Hopefully. Thing is, for me, it's literally I just saw it went from 10,000 kbps to 0, and then I got a yellow kind of bar from YouTube. And now the yellow bar stays there, and my frame rate is good. But the frame isn't. How is this possible? It's not RAM degradation because I'm using a MacBook Pro from last year with almost it's an M3 Pro chip in it. Everything is connected through Ethernet, yeah. Everything is connected wired via USB. They all get enough power. And except for my phone. Weird thing is now, my side looks entirely clean again, whereas I saw it just dropping off on OBS. It's exciting, Sebastian. Sorry, it's like I'm really behind, but it's exciting to move to a new place. You know, just try to visualize everything how you want it, so you can work towards something. I think that works best for those, you know, kind of big changes, big positive changes. Let me put it like that. It kind of looks like it's doing it again. It's working here. Being used to starting from scratch, my hats off to you, Sebastian. Okay, so anyway, tomorrow morning or afternoon. I'm going to go live anyway because I'm going to try to make a thicker binder. There you go. Is it working again? Yeah. Having a permanent home, that sounds wonderful. That's good. Also need to replace the batteries for this touchpad. Let me have a look. Old days. Does anyone happen to have a few versions of PY159 from Kramer and tell me what the difference and the price of the why the price is higher for zinc yellow? I'm going to have a look. I have it. I'm going to have a look what I have. I have Kramer's one. I also have another one, I think. 59. There we go. Yeah. So what was your question again? Sorry, screen was in front of the other screen. Right, I'm definitely going to look into it. It's not zinc yellow. It's not zinc, basically. Old days. It's zirconium yellow. So it's not the same. Or, oh wait, you said zirc yellow. Which price is higher? Could you be a little bit specific? So yeah, but for me, this was really like yeah, it's working all again, isn't it? I still have that yellow sign there, but for me, it was the visualization of making a news. It's still not ideal. It's like oh, getting a notification again here. It's still, I would still say I would change some things if I had more space or more time, money, things like that. If I would build something from scratch, but it's not. It's based in an old garage, so the walls were there, but everything on the inside wasn't. So yeah. Also, this looks nothing like anything that when you look at Jackson's art, for instance, Jackson's has a great videography team. Their style in videos is perfect, and when you look at factory places or like small production sites of art materials, this looks more like a cozy, for me here, a cozy place to be, like my hideout spot or something like that, my pigment cave. Then I would say it looks like a production place for paint. So I'm trying to find a balance there. Looking at it from my perspective here, this looks like it's made for content creation. 3 cameras, LED panels, microphones hanging, and things like that. But yeah, it works for me, and it makes me feel good. So yeah, I would say it's my happy spot here. I tried streaming my PlayStation on my MacBook and it worked perfectly. When I found out it worked perfectly, I got rid of my controller here and put it back in the house, because that would be too much of a distraction here. Thank you so much, Toast. Thank you, everyone. I really like it as well. I really like... it does have like everything, like the quirky little things as well, like the rock tumbler to make paint, like a small paint mill. Now the 3-roll mill. There's all kinds of things here, and I know I installed everything, but I'm still surprised by how much things are here, which is weird. Maybe that surprises me. My yellow notification is gone, so yay. And I changed the background, by the way. Instead of having the dehydrator that's over there, and the extra dehydrator that I had that wasn't working anymore over there, I can... Oh, my phone is still hanging over here. I can actually show you my little display thingy here with old mullers and old pigments, my museum pieces. This is not a real skull, by the way. This is also 3D printed and painted. So yeah, this is my little kind of display-ish pigment and curiosity things. And then obviously there's my pigments and stuff. Those little precious jars. Oh, okay. Let me have a look. Yeah, that's by the way, the big yellow bag. That's Mayan red. The Mayan yellow is over there. There's Mayan blue over there. These little jars over here. These are all the pigments used in the Girl with the Pill earring. So this is linseed oil and all of the others. I want to name them now, but I'm really afraid I'll make mistakes right now. And also this is a fun book. 300 years before color. This was a limited edition run of a very old book. Say a replica of a very old book from Bogart, a Dutch guy from the 16-somethings. And it's basically one of the first hand painted and handwritten catalogs of paint mixes there was. There's one copy of this, the original one, in a museum in France or a library, but this is a replica version of it, which I really like. And it's within my niche, so I think this is a nice business expense. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I think that's the best way to describe it. A lot of stuff. yeah, it's I like it. It's a business expense. It's cool. It's a very nice collectible. It's nice, but it's part of my business, right? It's yeah, sure, you can look online, but it's better to have a real book. And books about pigments are business expenses as well, so why not this one? That's fine, Sebastian. You're very welcome here. To in my defense, the old Mullers, at least one of them, I bought with my own money. Like, with my business is my own money. It's like, but it wasn't a business expense because I actually want to use that for my for content making, for making paint and new videos. And I'm writing them all down because I couldn't do anything with my shoulder, especially working with a stone muller that weighs more than 2 kilograms, 4 kilograms. I would go to the Stedelijk as well. It's next to it. Van Gogh, Dutch, Van Gogh Museum. But you need to make a reservation there, I think, still. Rembrandthuis, which is kind of cool. So yeah, there's a few things in Amsterdam that you can that are definitely worth it to visit. But none of them have a genuine old muller like this, which you are, able to hold, and you're allowed to hold it as well, Sebastian. The muller they use in the Rembrandthuis is actually a modern stone one, was just made for the museum, I think. So there's a big difference there. There's many more, obviously, but if you say Rijksmuseum, because of some things, there's a few others in that list as well. Yeah, they even have a like his studio. I don't know if I'm allowed to show that here. If I can use the picture, look it up online. His studio has like a big boulder, a granite boulder, as a slab with a granite muller. But like I said, that one is actually as old as his house. So, well, enjoy your dinner, Ryder. Thanks for joining, and have a great night. I'm getting a little bit hungry as well. It's already too late for that. Maybe it's not too late for it. I don't know. I'm not going to eat crisps here in front of the camera, though. That would be too... No. What do you... I hate that my touchpad is out of batteries. What do you want to ask, Sylvie? What did I miss? Need to scroll back. Ask me. I'm just going to have a look for it. No, wait, you know, I'm going to have a look for you tomorrow, okay? All days. I think, you know, my Wednesday night streams are a little bit more like the chat and the... Oh, buy it. Please buy. Go ahead. Buy. I don't want to bother you with... No. Just buy it, Sylvie. I don't even know if it's working, so... I think... Let me have... I thought I already made one, by the way. So let me have a look. Let me have a quick look. No, it's... I don't have one, but I recognize the site and I haven't registered for it yet, and it's going to take too much time. So please buy ahead. Thank you, though. It is very kind of you. So, any more requests on, you know, things you want to see, or you're curious about, or anything else? Anyone? It was a battlefield. It was a big battlefield. Okay, the touchpad should be working again. Yay, it's working again. Yeah, please send me a link. Sentience. Wait, am I missing this many things here? Gulchen, what do you mean? Let me have a look. A green pigment? Ever thought of metal detecting, Sebastian? This all sounds very random to me. Anyone wants to tell me what I'm missing? Oh, metal detecting in that way. Okay, battlefield. Yes, there's an interesting thing. Right here in my museum. This is a World War II anti-tank shelf, grenade shelf that was embedded in the wooden beams of my house. So because of the explosion, it's a awful but a very interesting piece of history. looking at what I want to do tomorrow, and how I really need to figure some things out still in my head, because the constant like figuring out how to solve issues, and the what comes with creativity, what comes with a creative mind, what comes with, you know, as an artist, but also as someone with ADHD. That constant flow of thoughts and constant stream of ideas and things is a blessing, but other on the other side, it's really kind of, it's I hear the ideas more than I read whatever the chat is saying, whatever you are saying here, which is maybe why I need to go offline in a minute, ending my stream, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm still not away, but does anyone kind of recognizes that? Probably, in knowing a lot of you, yes, probably. Some people do know that feeling. But please do, sentient and do send me a link for a bearing like that. I'm still waiting for a 3D scanner that can make very accurate scans. So that probably will help me in the future as well for that, if I'm going to buy it. It was mostly used for, you know, making scans of the old Muller and other things. But thinking of it, I could really use some very precise copies of the things that are there to make it a little bit easier for me. I think, Gulchen, if you're referring to that problem, yeah, I do at least. Let me have a look at the Discord. Where did you send it? Oh, there, you're right on the, there you go. Adding you as a friend. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to look into it. No, I don't actually. I'm kind of I have a like a small corner of someone else's Discord channel, of Mr. Pigment's Discord channel. If someone wants to moderate, make or moderate a Discord channel. I've kind of set it up once-ish, kind of. But if someone wants to moderate it, yeah, absolutely, you can do that or fix it. Or use it even, because that's just something that was just a bit too much of it to add to all the things I'm doing. Yeah, but TikTok is being banned in the US, so it's I don't know if yeah, I don't know. I can't monetize TikTok here, at least not in the way that people in the US could or can. The TikTok shop option, for instance, isn't here, which makes people loads of money. Same as Instagram. You can't monetize your Instagram here in the Netherlands, which is basically why I'm very, very quiet there. And other times I'm just focusing on writing down ideas on whiteboards and things I have hanging around here in my phone as well. Ideas for new videos, ideas, solutions for issues or problems that I don't have, for ideas that are kind of in the works. And then I can make paints again now, slowly learning again too in another way, which feels weird as well, because I know how to make paint. I know the basics of how everything mixes and works, but having this slab here and letting a machine do the work is like it's kind of a threshold for me. But when this thing is entirely over, and I can invest in that thing, I will definitely use it, but I will definitely keep mulling pigments and paints for smaller batches, for paints that are more rare, more expensive, things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of issues, but for Google, YouTube, you need to sign some forms in what country you need to, you're responsible for doing taxes. And as long as you're not a US citizen, so you don't have any tax things in the US, you need to, I think you need to sign that 5 times, separate times for YouTube. Now it just, it's a once in a month transfer. As long as I get more than $70 a month, that's the minimum threshold for getting a payment from YouTube. But it's that easy, basically. The ads that are being showed, they give me a little bit of money. Super chats, Sebastian, thank you. Mostly Sebastian, I have to say. Things like that wouldn't be too difficult for Instagram or Facebook Meta to set up here as well, I think. I mean, yeah. Anyway. I think I want to say I'm going to bed, but my head is very full. So I'm going to first try to get some things on paper. Putting this here for tomorrow. I definitely won't forget that. First I'm going to put my batteries back in the charger, because otherwise I will forget that. And the channel likes you too, everyone here. I've said this way too many times to not sound cheesy anymore, but I'm really thankful for everyone here, everyone who is joining this community. We have Toast with us, joining here, and before watching the live stream, the replays of the live streams, which really means a lot to me as well, Toast. There's a really fun, nice, friendly group of intelligent and like-minded people here, and I really like that. Sylvia, I really hope it as well that the mail arrives. Is there anything? Oh yeah, there is one thing. Yes, I've tried this. So I thought, okay, for tube paint, I need to change my binder a bit. I don't want to use any fillers, but I want to use something that would just thicken the water part of the paint. And a watercolorist, welcome. So this is Potter's Pink. And I added a little bit of thickener, food thickener to it. Look at, so I'm not doing this, it was just an experiment, but look at the terrible, I'm just going to put this here. Look at this terrible structure. Here you have the granulation of Potter's Pink, and here it is just like painting with glue or something like that. This is the dry paint. It dries beautifully and it actually re-wets, but this is like, I don't know, it's weird. Just looking at this is enough for me to say, okay, I'm not using thickeners. So yeah, I need to find a solution for that. Or a solution. Maybe this is not my problem. Maybe I need to go way back and think of other ways. If you have any tips, I will stick around for a minute longer, but please share your thoughts. So basically I want to make a binder that is a little bit thicker for two reasons. One, tubed paint. The other one, the 3-roll mill. And the most important part is that I cannot make any changes for just those things when it comes to quality. Aquazol is no, it doesn't change it for me. Not looking at the glycerin, the honey that I add, the amount of liquid needed to dissolve the solid. So what one could do is let the binder evaporate a bit before using it. So reducing it, like making a nice thick and shiny sauce. Basically reducing the water. Ah, that's good to hear, Sebastian. Aquazol didn't really make it a lot thicker for me. Plus, making it thicker doesn't make it more expensive for me when it comes to the amount of pigment that goes in. That should stay the same, because the only thing that changes is the amount of water. But Aquazol is just too expensive for at least one of the two reasons. The 3-roll mill makes paint in bigger batches, bigger batches means more pigment, more binder, or more aquazole, which is more expensive, means more costs, which translate into a more expensive product. And I don't want to do that. I don't think the people are waiting for that on that. So yeah. I'm using a certain kind of honey actually. I'm using acacia honey, since it comes from the same tree as the gum arabic. It's gum from the acacia tree, which isn't only a nice thing to have honey and gum from the same source. I know honey doesn't come from the tree, it comes from the bees, but you know what I'm talking about. It's also a very light kind of honey. When did tube watercolor became a thing? Well, Mark asked for it actually, and it's been on my mind for a while. I don't want to set it up as a regular product though. I know Agayo I think is doing it, and there's more companies that are offering its small companies, handmade paint ones. But I know that there's people who just want to use a large brush and a half pen or even a full pen. It doesn't work for it. Oh, that's nice, Sylvie's. What's the smallest batch size that seems reasonable for the 3-roll mill? The smallest batch size? We're talking about milliliters? What are we talking about? I think, you know, a 100 milliliter jar like this, which I use to mix Potter's Pink in. I think this is a decent amount to not waste too much. XY, thanks for joining. Another new member here. Is my glycerin vegetable? Yes, it's vegetable. Plant-based vegetable, yeah. Glycerin and all the pigments you use ethically sourced. Well, it doesn't apply for all pigments, the term ethically sourced. I can talk a little bit about it, but ethically sourced, like with Mike has, yes, for that part, that is what this supplier told me. When it comes to things like cobalt pigments, then you need to go back to the source of cobalt, which was used as a chemical compound to chemically synthesize the pigment. I know where I buy my pigments. For some of those places, I know where they buy their pigments, and those are places that won't sell to a small maker like me. But for a lot of those places, I don't know where it comes from. And cobalt is one of those things. That even, and this is that I trust the source that told me this, and it's been told by multiple people actually, in the direct pigment world and art supply world, both of them. Even if the supplier, like the literal seller or maker of the pigment, is saying this is ethically sourced, there is no way someone like that can guarantee that. And most of the times there's even no way that someone can know that, because they buy their raw material from certified places, but there's just not enough control over all the shipments of those places. If every shipment of that spot that is certified, that is working in an ethical way, isn't using methods, people, children, to mine the raw materials. So yeah, there's, I can say there's no way of knowing, but there's definitely no way of fully trusting everything you hear from any source, because if you haven't followed it from the source point, like the literal mine, to the plastic bag or glass jar filled with pigment, if you aren't in the entire process, there's no way of saying that. So yeah, it's I think it's always a difficult issue when people say it's fully ethically sourced. My source told me my mica is. Some vintage pigments, Sebastian, aren't ethically sourced. Well, yeah, absolutely. Most famous one, Indian yellow, maybe. I do care about it, XY. One of the parts, and I know that doesn't really apply to this, for my watercolor pens that I print, like the cute dot pens that I make for sampling my paints. These are made out of recycled PLA, and PLA is a bioplastic. I'm not saying it's biodegradable, some people do. It is, but only under very extreme circumstances. This is a bioplastic, meaning it's made out of a cornstarch oil, just a waste product out of nature. And I use a version that recycles unused plastic or thrown away plastics of the 3D printing industry. So there's a little bit of that, like not all buying new things, but buying a recycled version of it out, which just works wonderful for me. Is a little bit of, trying to do what I can, what fits me. Yeah. But yeah, Sebastian, everyone here cares about it. I do believe it. And it is very difficult to check it. Almost impossible. So, having at least 2 new people here in the chat today is a very nice addition to today's stream. But I'm going to call it a night. It's 11 here, and kind of tired. Tomorrow I want to do a lot of things. I still need to write things down, get them out of my head before I go to bed. So if you want to check a little bit more personal, if you want to check out my my Ko-fi link there, read the story, and I know everyone here, or at least most of you know here why, but I'm just going to say this for people who are watching the rewatch. If you want to help me with my kind of investment, trying to solve an issue with me not able to make paint with my arm, so trying to fix that with a machine. If you want to support me, Feel free to look at the link if this is not the right month for you. I really understand that as well. If you don't want to do it at all, I don't blame you. It's that simple. Thank you everyone for being so kind. Thank you for being here again, being part of our group. Hopefully see some of you tomorrow again. So I'm going to try to make a thicker binder with everything I usually make my binder with. And I need to think of a way how to. So maybe it is going to be a complete mess tomorrow, and you'll see me crying or laying in like a fetal thing on the floor there. Maybe it's going to be successful. Maybe you don't see it at all because it needs to rest and it takes too long for the live stream. I have no idea, but I'm just going to try it tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully it works. I don't want to have the other options. Hopefully it really works. Anything else? I still didn't show the quinacridone golds, but they're too similar for me to yeah, they're just too similar to consider to be two different, very different options of quinacridone gold. Yeah, so with that, I'm saying thank you everyone, and hopefully everyone has a great day, a great night, wherever you are. Stay safe, enjoy the day or night or whatever you're going to do, and maybe see some of you tomorrow. Bye guys.